Hello and good morning. Let's take a look. Again, we went over percentile rank. Remember, next Friday at 5 p.m. will be your test. So you first should rearrange these in order. So I'm going to go ahead and put 65, 70, then 80, then 85, and then 90. And you should always count to make sure you didn't miss anything. Okay? So you want to find the percentile rank of 85. Okay, so we rearranged our work here, and let's let's figure this out. Well, there are 5 numbers, so that's the total number of numbers, and 85 is the fourth one. So that would be 0.8, which would be 80% percentile. So this person did 80% on all the students that tested. That's the percentile rank. All right, let's go on. Now let's take a look at this right here. Let's find standard deviation. Now there's some steps on the board here, and let's go through them. Let's see if we remember them. So first you got to find the average. Okay? So to find the average, you got to add all these up. So let's do that. This right here is 25. This right here is 22. And this is 20. So it looks like 67. So we're going to take 67 divided by 5. So 67 divided by 5 is going to give us 13.4. Now, you're not supposed to round this, but we're going to go ahead and round it to make it easier. We're just going to say 13. Okay, on the test, don't round it. Okay, you got to take each number minus this number here. That's step 2. Okay, so we're going to take 12 minus 13. 13 minus 13. 10 minus 13. 12 minus 13. And finally 20 minus 13. Let's see what these are. This is a -1. This is 0. This is a -3. This is a -1. This is a +7. Now you got to square all of these. So 1 times 1 is 1, 0 times 0, 3 times 3 is 9, and then 7 times 7 is 49. Okay? Once you get to this point, you got to add up all the squares. Okay? So we want to go ahead and add all this up. So this is 59, 60. So we're going to say 60, and then you got to divide by how many numbers? So you're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to divide by 5, and I guess that's 12. Okay, so once you get 12, that's going to be your variance. So your variance here, which is denoted by that symbol with a square. To do the standard deviation, you just do the square root of 12. So on your calculator, you're going to take square root of 12, however you do it on your calculator. This is going to be 3.4. So the standard deviation is 3.4. Okay? Now remember, this is a form of disbursement. All right, so if you have any questions, today you have a worksheet, and the worksheet looks like this. Okay? So make sure you put your name, date, and period. If you have math fees, remind me the last 2 minutes of class. Okay? Fill out that chart, and then work these as well. And if you can't be with us, you can just copy that down. Let's turn our attention now to college algebra. All right, so on college algebra, we're going to review these two, and then we're going to go over some rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so here we go. Put your name, date, and period always. Today is the 22nd. Here's the date. All right, so anyhow, um, this right here has the same base, and you're dividing, so it's going to be subtraction. So it's going to be 5 to the 2n minus 3, and that's all you can do. This one right here, you have x's, but you have a smaller amount here, because remember the bigger the negative. So if I bring that up, that becomes a plus 5. This right here, same way. This is smaller, so I'm going to bring that up. So I'm going to get y negative 4 plus 7. And my final answer, 5 minus 3 is 2. And this one right here is going to be 3. And then you're done. And that's how you do that. Okay, we're going to rationalize the denominator. Copy this down right here. This is a method. You can't have a radical in the denominator. So write that down. No radical in denominator. And you can't have it. Just like you can't have a negative exponent. To rationalize the denominator means you're going to multiply the top and bottom by this number here. So you're going to put the square root of 5 over the square root of 5. Now 5 times the square root of 5. Remember there's a 1 here. So 5 times 1 is 5 square root of 5. Both of these are inside, so that gives you the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is perfect, so you're going to get 5. And there's your answer right there. Now that answer may or may not have any meaning to you, so let me show you how to figure it out. Clear your calculator. Press the square root of 5, however you do it in your calculator, times 5. Press equals, and then divide by 5. When you do that, I get 2.23. So all of this should be 2.23 if I did that correctly. Remember, you do the square root first, times 5, divided by 5. Make sure you multiply. This one right here is FOIL. Pay attention. You're going to take this first one right here, and you're going to multiply for both of these. Then you're going to take the second one and multiply for both of these. And that's what FOIL is. So pay attention. Here we go. Square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 25. Square root of 5 times negative 1 is a negative square root of 5. Switch to the next number. 1 times the square root of 5 is a plus square root of 5. And 1 times a negative 1 is a negative 1. These cancel. Square root of 25 is 5, and 5 minus 1 is 4. And that's how you do FOIL. Make sure you understand that. I want to see some arrows on your work today. Now copy this one down. This one you got to multiply by something called the conjugate. Okay, put a star by this one. You just can't multiply by the square root of 2. You got to multiply by the opposite of this. Okay? So it's going to be 5 over 4 minus the square root of 2 times, now here comes the conjugate. The conjugate here is going to be 4 plus the square root of 2. Okay? So if it's a minus, you put a plus. If it's a plus, you put a minus. Okay, let's distribute. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5 square root of 2. Down here, you got to do FOIL. So you're going to take this one to both of these. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4, that's going to be a plus 4 square root of 2. Now you go to the next number here, and that's going to be minus 4 square root of 2. And then the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4. But a negative times a positive is a negative. These two cancel. Okay? This is your FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. And these two should cancel. So what I end up with is 20 plus 5 square root of 2 over 16 minus 2. And the reason why it's minus 2 is because the square root of 4 is 2. So on your test, or on your worksheet today, you're going to write it like this. If you finish your work early, Now some kids would try to reduce this. You can't reduce it, so you stop right here. What you could do, if you want to, you could put 2 over 14 plus 5 square root of 2 over 14. That's allowed. And then you can reduce that to 1 over 7. You don't have to for me, but just understand how to do that. Like if you reduce right here, then you're kind of cheating this one. Each one of these is divided by 14, so you can separate it and then reduce the first one only. Today's work is a worksheet, and I want to make sure that you're doing this. So if you get stuck, make sure you ask. Okay? So today, the worksheet looks like this if you can't be with us. Okay? And this is week 2, worksheet A. And then the back side looks like this. Okay? And again, you can always refer to the video or even other people's videos for help. All right, I'll see you guys in class. Have a good morning.